our union officials. To my left is Ken Nicholson. He's the president of this unit of Nassau University Medical Center. And of course we have security guards, we have the head of our security is here, and behind me is our bodyguard. No, I'm only kidding. All right, so really what we wanted to just say to everyone was basically this hospital has a long history and you know, of success and of saving lives, and they're here for the residents of Nassau County. And they've been here for many, many decades. And tonight, of course, is New Year's Eve, and after 12 o'clock, statistically, that's the time when we have, unfortunately, people get a little silly on the New Year's Eve, or they're not using their head, and they're driving, they have some drinks in them, there's more accidents, there's more trauma, and there's more deaths. It's a statistic fact. And the great people and the great professionals here at this hospital, and we have by far the best emergency room and level 1 trauma center that is directed by Dr. Booten. Dr. Booten's here right here, and what we have been known for saving lives better. We have a better success rate, more active emergency trauma center than any other hospital here in Nassau County, and we're here. Let's make sure we have fun. Let's make sure we do it right. You can certainly celebrate the end of 2018 and the beginning of 2019. Do it in a safe manner. But God forbid someone gets sick. God forbid there's a tragedy, or you know, and tragedies don't take a holiday, unfortunately. And health tragedies don't either. Heart attacks. We're here, and we're here to save your family and work and do the best we can to make sure that everyone has the safest New Year as possible. So with that, I am proud to represent everyone that's here. Also represent 911 operators that will be working all night. We represent fire marshals that are out there patrolling, and we represent the people that work at the Sheriff's Department in the jail. And we'll let Kenny Nicholson in a minute talk about that right after Dr. Dr. Olson talks about the staff here, the medical staff. So, Doctor?
Sure. I'm Dr. Dean Olson. I work in the Department of Emergency Medicine here at Nassau University Medical Center. And we will have a full staff of physicians around the clock tonight, working on New Year's Eve with the anticipated spike in visits, both medical visits as well as car crashes. Statistically, again, as was this night has a high amount of people that will not only be on the road intoxicated by either drugs or alcohol, but also the highest amount of car crashes and resulting in injuries. And we will have a full staff here around the clock to take care of those emergencies. We're a level 1 trauma center. Patients from the most severe crashes will come to our facility to get care, and we will be ready to treat whoever comes in that's in need of our assistance.
Ken, you want to talk about the hospital, the hospital workers that are working at the jail?
Yeah, hey, my name's Ken Nicholson. I'm the president for the Nassau University Medical Center unit of CSEA Local 830. A couple of things. Jerry was talking about heart attacks, and so my mom went into congestive heart failure last night. She wanted to come nowhere else but here, and the staff treated her superbly. They're still treating her. I've been here for 34 years. I was here for Avianca. I was here for 9/11. While people are celebrating Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's at home, they're not thinking about people that are working behind the scenes, or PD, or EMS workers, or nurses and doctors and security staff here at the medical center. Give up being with their families for the holidays to tirelessly serve this community. We have staff, like Jerry was saying, we have medical staff over at the Nassau Correctional Center, where, you know, if you don't Uber or Lyft, you don't want to end up there tonight. So use Uber or Lyft. If you don't, if God forbid there's a medical emergency, please know that we're here to serve the community. We're here around the clock, 24/7. And like Jerry said, the best public health care facility in New York State, Nassau University Medical Center. Thanks.
Any questions out there?
Dr. Olson, can you just talk about any DWI or just
Sure. So, you know, I've worked about the past decade overnight, New Year's Eve, and typically, you know, around midnight is when we start to see a spike in the amount of trauma cases that come in. I've seen everything from very bad multi-vehicle crashes, high-speed motor vehicle crashes with patients that are critically ill, that our trauma team care, to simple assaults. I remember a case distinctly of a gentleman who was intoxicated, his partner was intoxicated, got into an argument, and was kicked in the eye and actually lost sight in that eye, and we had to do emergency surgery in the emergency department to try to save his sight. Unfortunately, to no avail. So we see everything from major car crashes to assaults, domestic, as well as medical complaints. You know, people, they eat a lot, they drink a lot, that puts a stress on their body, and even things like, you know, heart attack and stroke patients do tend to come in, you know, around the New Year's and afterwards. People are up later than they normally are. It's a break from their normal schedule. So we see a lot of different types of cases here, but really the car crashes and assaults, I think, on New Year's Eve are the overwhelming majority of cases that we've seen. I don't know if that's what you wanted or you
alcohol
want.
poisoning too at all?
Yeah, so we see a lot of alcohol intoxication. I mean, we're a public health facility. We're a safety net hospital for Nassau County, so we tend to get a lot of people that are intoxicated with alcohol on a regular basis here, a little bit more than some of the hospitals do. So we're pretty good at treating those types of patients. But what we'll see is people that normally don't indulge as much. This particular night, we will see a different type of person that comes in with, you know, what a layperson might call alcohol poisoning, but it's really just severe intoxication where they can't function, they can't walk, and really it's our job to, you know, have them sober up in a safe environment where they don't, you know, cause violence to anybody, and they don't fall or have any type of trauma as a result of them being so intoxicated.
For those that don't know what a normal night is in an emergency room, how do you characterize tonight compared to a normal night?
So a normal night is kind of it's hit or miss. You know, you can work an overnight and not have it be so busy. New Year's Eve, in my experience, the last 10 years, after midnight, the floodgates open, and it's trauma after trauma after trauma. And I think the last New Year's Eve I worked, you know, an average night will have anywhere from 1 to 3 or 4 traumas on a busy night. New Year's Eve, 7, 10, 12 traumas. The last 5 years I've worked, you know, we've been in the double digits. And, you know, when we say trauma, we mean that, you know, the hospital has certain criteria where we activate a trauma, where the entire trauma team comes to the emergency department in order to rapidly assess and care for patients. So those are, when I say trauma, that's the most severely injured patients from physical injury. We're also a burn center, a hyperbaric center, and we see those things, and the trauma team helps us manage those cases as well. But for the most part on New Year's Eve, it's in a large part major automobile accidents, and you know, you're double, triple the rate that you would have on a normal night in the emergency department.
And you said you're staffed tonight. Is there extra, I'm sorry if I missed this, extra staff tonight, more so than usual?
So we're pretty much fully staffed throughout the overnight. I don't know if there's any. I'd have to check. You know, I think we have some extra staff that are coming in for tonight, because we do anticipate a spike in the amount of people that will show up.
And can you just spell your name?
Olsen, O-L-S-E-N.
And your first name, just
Dean, D-E-A-N. No problem.
Thank you.
Just want to stress one more thing, if you could. I think the real point is, aside from the fact that these fantastic medical staff and the nurses will be here tonight, the hospital hospital. We are the safety net hospital, and that's what the doctor was talking about. So the worst of the worst traumas will come here, and we have an extraordinary history of success here, dealing with those kinds of traumas because of the experience, and that's I think the most important message. Thank you.
And,
Happy
yeah,
New Year.
I mean, not only do we pride ourselves in that, as well as we also pride ourselves in taking care of underserved patients, which there are some. And we really, as a facility, we pride ourselves in being able to care for patients that don't have a lot of resources as well. So that's how we serve in the community as a unique fashion that some other hospitals might not. All right, thanks.
Good job. Thank you, Doc. Good job. Happy New Year. Great job.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.